Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and today we're diving back into some more Create Above and Beyond. So guys, real quick, I just wanted to get this out there. This is World Download Day. So if you're a supporter of any tier, whether that's on Twitch, on Patreon, or even now on Discord, you will get access to the World Downloads. They are found on the Discord, and you can of course go to discord.gg/chosenarchitect, and those should be in the World Downloads channel there on the Discord for you guys. So be sure to get your accounts all linked up, make sure everything is good, and of course, let's get on with today's video. So jumping back in today, we are in the Nether. We have a lot to do here in the Nether, and yeah, I'm gonna have to get myself prepped up. We have to find ourselves some biomes, and I should have made myself a biome locator. Now that I think about it, there was a couple of things that I wanted to make: a biome locator, compass, and yeah, I also should have, you know what, I'm actually going to go back and make that. And also, I was wondering, do I have access to the hook yet? This was another thing that was under lifesavers that was really nice. So yeah, I need to make a nature's compass. That needs to be added to my list of things to do. And then there was also something else that was in here. Maybe there's the choo-choo. Okay. No, I don't see it. I think it was the hooks. There are hooks in here. Yeah, right here. Grappling hooks. So yeah, I also need to make myself a grappling hook and get used to using those controls, because I think that would really help us here in the Nether. So yeah, you can tell we're in the Nether. Oh man. Am I gonna get him? Wow, that really should have got him. That got him. Awesome. Getting that return to Cinder just like that. Perfect. Okay, so we're back with our portal. I'm trying to figure out how to use this. So this, basically, we can swing. I can hold Shift and W to go up and Shift and S to go down. And then we can get to swinging. And then when I'm ready to launch, I just basically jump, but I still take fall damage. So I need to be pretty careful with this. I think this will be more useful for like getting up tall areas. I'm almost positive it's gonna be a lot better for that. Yeah, I need to be pretty careful. Don't have a lot of good food on me. I probably should have brought steak, but I did make this pretty sick sword. And I have to say, this sword definitely gonna do me a solid. So I made this sword basically out of flint, bone, and then cobalt. So we get that lightweight, which is pretty nice. We get a nice attack speed. And I also just put 3 rounds of quartz on it. So we now have a sword that is better at attacking than a diamond sword would be. So let's go ahead and see if we can't find a particular biome. Today we are hunting. We are on the still on chapter 2, and we're going to be hunting for twisted vines and also weeping vines. And I can tell you, this is more of a rare biome here. It does show that there's a recipe, so if we do find weeping vines, I do have a rune. We can actually go ahead and just make twisting vines, which would be pretty nice. And then I think we can take this to the overworld. I think this is something that would actually work in the overworld just fine. So let's see. We need nether. So the nether waste would be one to start the search for. Ooh. Oh wait, we're in a nether waste. That's our default biome. Warped. So a warped forest is going to be one that, yeah, it's 500 blocks away. I mean, that's not super far. It's not super far. And the other one would be a crimson. The crimson forest. Now I know there's an easy way to get down here. Oh yeah, that's right. It's over here. So yeah, unfortunately this takes us towards a lava pool, and I don't think I want to go that way. So I'm going to set my focus on a crimson forest and maybe utilize that. I believe this stuff can grow on netherrack regardless. I don't think it needs a specific thing to grow on. Hopefully it grows in the overworld. I was looking and I really couldn't find a lot of information that that told me otherwise. So hopefully it's not something that we have to specifically grow here, because no, that'd be kind of a pain. But according to the list, the thing that we're working for right now is something that we only need a select amount of. We don't need like to have a constant amount generated, even though it would be nice to be able to have this at our disposal, because it does provide some really, really nice utilities that we can use over and over again. So we're getting pretty close. I made it to a Soul Sand Valley, which is also pretty creepy. And I would prefer not to be here too long. So I'm working my way in this direction. I used our fortress to basically get here. And I'm trying to prevent, you know, gas. I really don't want to deal with gas today. We might have to. Depends on how this all goes. So I was bragging about the seed and how this this area, like the nether, was actually pretty good. No, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Like, this nether is still just as bad as any other nether. Man, ever since they changed the way the terrain gens, it's a nightmare, which I guess is supposed to be, right? It's literally hell. Like, well, it's not called hell anymore, but it's literally hell, just like the pack said. Okay, so I think on this one we're gonna have to sort of jump down. I'm sort of trying to light my way up. Yeah, we're gonna have to path down, I believe, here, because I can see it over here. Right there's the Crimson Forest, and I did bring shears, so I was smart at least on that one. I have the shears in my backpack, so at least I have that. And I think that's it. Are we good here? Yeah. All right, we're on solid ground somewhat. And it looks like we're good. Okay, and skeleton spawn here. I would love to get a skeleton skull. That'd be pretty nice. All right, so let's get ourselves set up. I am in iron armor with a gold helmet, so I'm somewhat safe. If I was to get a skull, that'd make me feel a little bit happier, because a skull would actually propel us into fire protection. So that'd be pretty nice. All right, so we need a bit of this to sort of get started. So I'm going to grab as much of this as I can. We need some that we need to plant, and then some to convert into the former, so our other version. And I can also grab these, because we could technically plant this. I don't have any of this particular dirt. I don't think we're going to need it, though. But do we need netherwort blocks for this? That I don't actually know. And it'd be better if I actually had a hoe with me. This doesn't actually count as a hoe, I don't think. Or does it? It does seem a bit faster. So I'm now back at the base. I can now take my runes, and yeah, let's go ahead and at least make one twisted vine. Kind of curious how this is going to work. We do have plenty of bone and bone meal, so I'm going to go ahead and request like 64 of those, get all that out of there, request all my bone meal. Fun. And well, we have to get this set up. By the way, you may notice base is a little laggy, and you know what, actually, like, little is like an understatement. Like, base is really laggy. Like, I don't know, this all these contraptions really start to add up. And I've even tried shutting off some of the main stuff over here. I guess it doesn't matter if you shut it off or not, it's still going to be pretty laggy. So and I think this one's definitely up there as far as a laggy one, but we got to have it. We got to have them running. That's the whole part. Like, I think we might need to start spreading things out a bit more. I thought this was far enough. Like, they're pretty far away, but I think the further we get them, the more belts we have and the more lag we're generating from using the belts. So hopefully eventually we'll be able to move away from belts and maybe go into pipes and stuff. So from the looks of it, this can be set onto cobblestone and it will grow. Wow. Okay. And it grows a lot. Okay. And if I break this one, does it break all of them? Oh, yes. Okay. So that is actually pretty easy to gather a bit more of these. And it did say to set up a contraption for this. How many is this going to require for mixing? So it does require a heater. We're going to work on that here in a second, but just 1 or 2, that makes 500 millibuckets. But we really don't need that much of these. I don't know if I want to set up another contraption just yet, just to be able to make this, when I could manually harvest this or farm this for a little bit. That's a lot. Like, that's how much it actually uses to make the actual mechanism. So one of them, so just one set of each is going to be enough to make one of these mechanisms. We only need 8. The big problem that we have to solve is lava. So to gain lava, it said this is going to use like 25 buckets per. So it does talk about it here. Yeah, 24 buckets of lava. So per. That's for each one of the mechanisms to be able to get this. And it does say in here that you don't have to automate this. It just wants you to know that it exists, and you need to set up something for it. So let's work on getting the blaze burner, because that's the next step to getting these parts. So I'm going to be working on the blaze burner. That's going to require a little bit of iron and a cage. I believe it's literally 2 iron, and then we're also going to need iron bars. So let me go ahead and request some iron bars. Oh, it actually didn't. There we go. Request that. That was weird. It kept the rune in there. I think that was because I manually put the rune in. If you have like residual things, it's going to keep them in there. And then we need to platify our 2 iron, and that is going to be the recipe for getting that thing open. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Good thing I didn't shut this off, because this actually still needs to be running. So now that I have myself an empty blaze burner, all I need is a blaze. And there we go. Let's make sure it fires off. Okay, it's good. All we gotta do is literally right click and, well, a living fireplace. There we go. So since we're here, I also want to work on lava. Now, from the looks of this pool, I believe this would count as probably infinite lava for create. There is an amount, once you go over a certain amount of blocks that are connected to each other, the pump from create basically says, hey, this is an infinite source of so on and, you know, so on. So the goal here would be to set up a pump in such a way that it drops down into here and goes, hey, this is creative. Basically, this is an infinite water source or infinite lava source. And then we have a minecart that comes through the portal, right? And then collects this and brings it back into the overworld, filling some sort of container full of lava. That's the idea. So right here should be the perfect spot for us to put this hose pulley, which we should be familiar with. Actually, I'm going to put it right here because of the... Oh, uh-oh. I don't want it to make another hose pulley. Oh, man. Yeah, so right in here is where I want to put the hose pulley. I can't believe I just I just placed it right where I didn't want to place it. Of course, that's me. So, yeah, right here. Let's pick this back up, which I'm super nervous because I've already fallen into lava once. Leave it up to me to fall into lava again. So let's set this back up. I don't want to use netherrack because it's easily broken, but hose pulley. And let's get it in the proper direction. I don't want it here. I want it facing this way, so that way I can have a minecart potentially connected to it. And actually, I think I want the minecart... I want this to be one taller. Because of the way that the minecart is going to rest, I want it to be able to connect to this by running through this rail or running through the rail over here. And of course, it's going to use one of those extractors. And we need to set up some sort of gear system, I believe, to pump for this. Or I could, oh, you know what? I could just use the regular pump from one of the tanks. I wouldn't even need anything because we could just use a pump. Oh, because it can automatically pull and push. Okay, never mind. I was thinking about something else. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop this down all the way down until we see it stop moving. By the way, hand cranks use a lot of your actual hunger bar, your saturation. That's just a part of using the manual crank. There is a downside to it. So once we get it all the way down there, this should be an infinite lava source, and we can of course use it as such. But yeah, we got to get this thing all the way down here, and I'm hoping, there it is. I'm hoping that this is going to act as such. That's the goal anyways. So at least we have it set up for later. So I want to try my best to understand this. I need to kind of know what direction I'm facing. So when I go into this portal and I'm looking this way, I'm hoping my minecart does the same. So I'm facing this way now. So the idea is to take a powered rail, for example, and to go ahead and extend my minecart now in this direction. Question is that going to happen? Actually, I don't have anything activating the power rail, so let's just use a regular rail. Also, I probably need to chunk load this area and also probably claim the whole thing just so we don't have any bad things happening. Also, I think, yeah, this is actually the area that I need. So I need this area chunk loaded. I'm out of chunk loads. I don't know why I guess I would have to increase that myself. But yeah, chunk loads are going to be a weird thing in this pack because, well, if you build everything together, it's incredibly laggy. If you build everything apart, well, you're going to run out of chunk loads like I'm already running out of. Actually, I don't need these areas chunk loaded, and I don't need that chunk loaded. These do. Everything else sort of does. This sort of doesn't. I don't actually know. So yeah, I need that base area chunk loaded. But yeah, the idea is to get the rail cart in and the load, and I'm hoping this works because this would really solve a lot of our issues, like for lava anyways. So this whole area is chunk loaded. That's exactly sort of where I want it to go. And then we'll just figure out how to line our railing up over there. But let's go ahead and make a rail cart or a mine cart. And let's just sort of see what this thing does. So let's get to building ourselves a rail network. So I believe I put it on this side. So if I set this up properly, we should be able to set ourselves a powered rail here just to sort of get things started. And then I will use a cart assembler right there. And the idea is to get all this going. Let's see. I also have another rail here, and I want this to loop back around. Problem is, if I loop it back around, actually we'll end up with a problem. I think I want it to go back and forth maybe, or we can do a continual loop. Actually, it doesn't really matter, I guess, if it loops or not. So if I loop it around, does that work for a loop? It's been so long since I've messed with rails. I don't even know. Like, I feel like that should work. Oh gosh. I have no idea. So let's go ahead and build our cart, and then we'll get a better understanding of this. So I'm actually going to use a furnace minecart, and I think that is going to be good from what I have heard. Furnace minecarts are fantastic. And then we are going to hook, not a tank, actually, it does need a tank. So this is going to have a tank on it, and I'm using super glue here to sort of make sure we have enough space. Tall wise, it can be this tall. And then I need a way to interface with it. Actually, we could probably make, yeah, I'll make it that tall. Actually, let's just do one. Right? So we don't have to worry about like it breaking into two parts or whatever. I can put a chest on top, a barrel, and the barrel will be how I insert fuel, because actually the minecart or the furnace cart will detect and use fuel out of here. So if I put a little fuel in there, we can use that as a test. And then I also need the portable fluid interface. And we also need a way to pump into this. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And then we also need a way to pump out. So with that hooked to it, it goes in. We should be good. Now, when it wraps around, it comes back. It should come back this way. And so what we can do, because I've already made some more fluid cells, is we have a tank set up. And we need to make sure that when this comes back, actually we can have it come back. It's going to stop right here. And it's sticking out. Its hose part sticks out here. We need an empty space in between, and we need a space here. So we need to put the tank here. And then put the cell here. Correct? Hose. No, actually, this needs to be all moved back one. And I'm still super gluing things together for no reason. Yeah, this actually needs to go back one more. Okay, so then we'll have a tank. This will also be a tank, but it'll also have this hook to it, which is going to be how we actually fill, because this, by the way, does not pull or anything, but this pulls. So we should be good by setting this to pull and that to push into the tank. And so this will actually interact. Oh, and this also needs to be one taller. So the same sort of thing needs to happen over here. So we have the fluid cell, and if I place the fluid cell on here, I know this is the face. So this should be the back, and that should be set to pull, or is this not the back? This is the front. That should be set to push. One of these should be set to pull. Maybe I need to change the direction on here. Oh, I need to set to auto. Oh, okay. Never mind. I need this to be on. There we go. That's set to pull, and the face should be set to output. And so we should, when we put a portable on here, we need to line up our rail so that way this matches up with it from the face before it turns. Okay, so let's move this out. And then I also want to set up a way so that way it connects here, so it should connect right here. And then we need to get this thing back on track, just like that. So that should loop back around and do a loop again, and so on and so forth. Oh, fingers crossed. I hope this works. So, moment of truth. Let's give it a lever signal. And I believe hit it with a coal. Oh boy. Are you okay, cart? You okay? It's... Oh, bummer. Well, to pick your contraptions up, by the way, you do this. I wonder why it didn't go through. Even normal minecarts go through. So I'm looking at some other carts. Now, there are these more minecarts with Minecraft loaders and unloaders. And I did notice there's a tank minecart. So maybe I can use a tank minecart with a loader and unloader to load lava into it. The same way we're basically doing now. A little bit different, but basically the same premise. Maybe we can get this to work. However, we're probably going to have to use powered rails, which I'm not too against. But it is going to be a bit more expensive as the gold is pretty limited. But it requires a silica still, which is kind of expensive, but I think we can manage. So I've done a little bit of testing, and I believe this is going to work so long as I have this fluid cell set up properly. So on the back here, we'll set this up and make sure the back is set to input. Make sure redstone is ignored because we will be using redstone signals. Everything else should be fine. That should be input. We'll set this to output so that way it can actually fill up this tank as well. That is from Create, just as an extra storage buffer. And then we have our actual minecart tank. And I was testing out a little bit of how the loaders and unloaders work. Not so, I don't understand quite yet. I just know they work. But I think this, if it's set to output redstone signal, it activates the power rail like it should for unloading and loading. Everything else, I believe, is fine to be left alone. You can see it does store power and stores power and also fluids, which is kind of interesting. But the cart is the big thing that I want to make sure actually works. I have a repeat rail here so that way it can be routed back. And let's hope this thing actually goes through the portal and I'm not just setting all this up for nothing. So I have all my powered rails down now, and over here is where things are a little bit wonky because this is up in the air. I wanted to make sure to put that up in the air. Oh gosh. 2-shot, by the way. And so I have this set up the same way, redstone activation, so that way hopefully it gets here. Now, once it gets here, it should get pushed the same way it was going, go up here and then fall back down. Let's hope. I'm not a rail expert, so I am going to be learning, and I'm hoping this actually fills this cart. Now, the question is, are the rails facing the right way for this to actually go into the nether? I'm going to be chasing this cart here in a second. Okay, so this is my last attempt. Moment of truth. Power with a double boost rail takes it into the portal. Let's hope it had enough momentum to make it through the portal, unless it completely stops. It's working. I think it's loading as it hits here. Minecraft loader? Does this need to go on top? I don't actually know. Wait. No. The redstone signal is being sent. Hold on. I think it's just the way that this is set up needs to be changed. Okay. Whew. So it hit here. It needs a flatter surface. It can't just immediately go up onto a ramp, I believe is the issue. Can this go? Oh, so a rail can't actually go onto here. That's okay, because I think if you use a powered rail, actually no, we might be able to just bounce it off of this block. That might be a reliable way to do this. I'm going to test this with this cart. Let's send it back up. Okay. Doing its thing. I think it's filling up. I don't know what the internal tank buffer is. But once it's done, it should output a redstone signal. After doing extensive testing, and you guys can thank me later for this, it works. All we have to do is on both setups, the one in the nether and here, the loader and unloader need to be on a sloped powered rail just like this. It does unload, and as soon as it's done, it will ship it back off. I promise you this works. It is so good. This is fantastic. So if I send that, that's automatically going to go. Let it go ahead and head into the nether. We do have those chunks loaded. And as you can see, this was one cart full, by the way. So however much this is, I don't have my goggles to be able to see, but it filled this entire container full. And then there's 60. So this thing holds a lot of lava to be able to literally pump that much. So we should see a rail cart hopefully come back through this portal. Oh my gosh. And it fills it back up. And it goes back and does it again. Wait. Oh no. So I think there's a timer on the carts, but we can solve that with another powered rail and a timer. I think what's happening there is a timer on the cart itself, and the timer has to sort of wear off before it can go back into the nether again. But we should be able to figure that out. Either way, we have semi-automation going here. Well, guys, today has been a crazy episode. At least we now know that we can transport lava to and fro from the nether. That gives us so many more possibilities. But of course, I do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be a huge thanks to Raz Al Ghul, I think. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member, and of course, getting that world download. And of course, if you're interested in getting a world download yourself, of course, you can go over to the Discord at discord.gg/chosenarchitect, where you can find out more information all in our FAQ. We have so much information there if you'd love to catch up on that. But anyways, guys, of course, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up as we hit 10th episode of Create Above and Beyond. And of course, we have more to come. So, guys, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.